So you also mentioned, as we just said, the Israeli Foreign Ministry framed this as a land dispute, and it's obviously working, as you mentioned, it's working through the judiciary, and we have the tweet there from
I think, to be fair, you had one side of the land dispute and you interviewed them. You should get the other side as well, to be fair to the viewers.
We're happy to. We're happy to. We certainly will. We've been covering the story, and we certainly will have them as well. But the point that I was trying to get to is the government, in this case, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, tweeted out that this
So we're not part of the trial.
Hold on one second.
We're not part of the trial. We see it as a dispute between two private individuals and whatever the courts decide. I think that's fair.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's why we were showing the tweet. We agree with you. That's what you are saying. So, but let me just say this really quickly, and I want to go back to 2009 and play for you what was said by one of the settlers, one of the Jewish claimants to that in 2009 when they began to take over homes in Sheikh Jarrah. Listen to this.
We take house after house because we prove in the court that this area belonged to the Jewish. And because that, all this area will be a Jewish neighborhood. Our dream that all East Jerusalem will be like West Jerusalem, Jewish capital of Israel.
So that man is now a member of the Jerusalem City Council, and you're saying this is a land dispute. That sounds like a stated strategy to remove Palestinians from East Jerusalem to make it, as he said in his own words, a Jewish city.
Well, he was speaking for himself.
Well, he's a spokesman for a settler organization. He's speaking for a settler organization.
Yes, he was speaking for himself and as his organization.
Yep.
And the person who you had on before was speaking for himself and his organization. He basically said Israel had no right to exist. He said my country was built on stealing other people's land. So you have different opinions on both sides. You have very strong opinions on both sides. I think you've got two people here who probably represent the more nationalist elements on their sides, and everyone's entitled to their opinion. But in this dispute, ultimately, I think it's only fair that the courts will decide.
Okay, so if you're saying he's a private citizen, let me play for you what the deputy mayor of Jerusalem, a government official,
I'm happy to do
hold
that.
on, just one second. To be fair, one second. I want to read you. I just want to read for you what he just said. This is the deputy mayor of Jerusalem, Araya King. He said to the New York Times on Friday that what's happening right now in the city was, of course, part of a wider strategy of placing layers of Jews throughout the eastern half of the city. The goal being to secure the future of Jerusalem as a Jewish capital for the Jewish people. How should Arabs who are living in Jerusalem interpret statements like this by the deputy mayor of this city?
So at the same time, the mayor of Jerusalem is saying that he wants to improve services for the Arab population.
I'm asking you about that specific comment. I'm asking you about that specific comment. How should they interpret?
You didn't interrupt the guy speaking before me. You didn't interrupt once, not once. And you're not letting me finish a sentence, sir. I don't want to complain, but please.
Yeah, but I was just asking you specifically about that.
I'm answering your question.
Go ahead.
The mayor of Jerusalem has said specifically over and over again that he wants to invest more in the Arab sector. He wants to see the Arab sector in Jerusalem thrive. We're investing more and more money. And as you know, since Israel reunified the city in 1967, the Arab population here has grown. It's more prosperous. The whole city is more prosperous and more affluent. United Jerusalem is a city that is a success story and will continue to be so.
Okay, well, according to Israeli reports, only 7% of the building permits issued in Jerusalem over the past few years have gone to Palestinians. They make up 40% of the city's population. Let me also, with the same official that we were just talking about, Araya King, the deputy minister, he was there in Sheikh Jarrah the other day, and he said, and there was video of it, he said to one of the Palestinian activists that was there on the ground, Mohammed Abu Hummus, who had previously been shot, saying it's a pity he wasn't shot in the head. What do you make of an official in that position speaking to members of his constituency?
Well, to be fair, there were people demonstrating in Sheikh Jarrah with Hamas flags. And, you know, Hamas calls for the murder of all Israelis. So, I mean, how am I supposed to see that? I mean, if you can find extremists and you want to say that represents Israel, you can do that if you want to paint that picture.
He's the deputy mayor of Jerusalem. I'm not selecting a fringe element. He's the deputy mayor of Jerusalem.
I wasn't talking about the deputy mayor. I was talking about the thing. Israel.
I'm saying to you, the deputy mayor told one of his constituents he should be shot in the head. I'm asking you, I'm not talking about an extremist nationalist.
I don't know the quote you're talking about. I do know this. The policy of the government and the policy of the municipality of Jerusalem is to be encompassing. And we want to see a diverse Jerusalem, a Jerusalem where all its inhabitants, Jews and Arabs, everyone can feel at home. That's the policy of the government. We want to see all of Israel, all of Jerusalem developing in a positive way, increase prosperity, better education, better infrastructure for all of the inhabitants of the city, because we know a united Jerusalem, a stronger Jerusalem is good for everyone.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.